I would like to dedicate this video to Siegfried Fischbacher and Roy Horn to keep their legacy going. Two Germans, they once had a dream and they conquered the world. They mastered the impossible with their incredible and unbelievable magic. They changed Las Vegas and the world forever. Thank you for decades of entertainment. You will be missed, but you will never be forgotten. Welcome to beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Look at this mansion, huge. You see the lion up there? You probably already know who used to live here. SNR, Siegfried Fischbacher and Roy Horn, the two German magicians. They made it big all over the world, but especially right here in Vegas. Vegas would not be Vegas if it wasn't for Siegfried and Roy. The whole story started here. They used to live in this big mansion, but in 2003, there was an accident on stage at the Mirage where the tiger, Montecore, and Roy always said he never attacked him. Roy had a stroke, he fell down, and the tiger actually grabbed him by the neck and pulled him off stage. And after this, Roy was half-sighted, paralyzed. And they decided to move out of this building because this has 2 stories, first and second. So they moved to another location, which is way, way bigger and more secluded, which called Little Bavaria. And I'm gonna show you something today you won't believe your eyes. And I bet that Siegfried and Roy would turn around in their grave if they would see what's going on. And this is what Siegfried and Roy's little chapel looks like from Rainbow Boulevard. A lot of people didn't even know they lived here. Little Bavaria. This is an aerial view of their compound. They had 3 houses on the property, a huge swimming pool. The house on the left was Roy's house. The one in the middle they used together for breakfast, lunch, or dinner whenever they wanted to meet up. And the house on the right, that was Siegfried's house. Unbelievable how big the property was. Lots of trees and palm trees surrounded the property. This is where Siegfried punched in the number. And who knows what celebrity pushed this button right here. You see the screw right here? There was the sign Little Bavaria right here. And there was another one right there, the original gates. And this is where they drove in every single day. They cut up all those trees here at the entrance. Unbelievable. When you turn into the driveway, I don't know how many cars fit in this garage doors here, but there's a picture online where there's Siegfried and Roy's Rolls Royce standing right here at the entrance. And as you can see, they took already all the windows out. They had all the cars in the garage. And this is the original bicycle where Siegfried was working out on, and a treadmill here. And they've taken off all the copper. This used to be all copper here. It was the same color like this. I also want to take the opportunity right now to say thank you very much for the gentleman who allowed us to film and come on property. Without him, all this wouldn't be possible. Thank you so much. I found another picture online where they have this little Jesus statue. Every time you've seen anything of their property, you always seen those yellow, red canvases. Yeah, this is hard to believe that it looked like this. Look at this red wheel. Nice, huh? So this is the second location where Siegfried and Roy lived. And this is René Meinert. You all know him before. I got videos with him when I actually went to Vegas. We went to the Halloween parties together. And he has a travel agency or like a tour guide. You're a tour guide.
I'm a tour guide for German-speaking tours here in Las Vegas, and I was a friend from Siegfried and Roy.
You met Siegfried many times and Roy?
Many times, every single day. We make a stop at the Jungle Palace. It is another location here in Las Vegas. And Siegfried come out, say hello to my guests. It was a...
And he actually performed some little tricks I saw in the video, right?
With a golden coin.
So I'm standing right here, and this is actually Siegfried's house, right?
This is a middle house. Siegfried's house is on this side, and this was a meet and greet house.
Okay. But it's kind of like a Bavarian style house. I show you how it looked before. This is absolutely incredible. Just being here, I'm kind of emotional. I'm getting goosebumps. He feels the same way. He's a big fan. When you come from Germany and you see two guys that made it big into the industry here in America, they were legends. Even in Vegas, they were legends. Without them, Vegas would not be what Vegas is today.
Absolutely.
So I want to show you some pictures. Let's go in the house. And thanks, René, for showing us here.
Enjoy the video.
One important thing, we actually have permission to come here.
Yep.
You cannot just come here and walk around. This is all gated, and they're tearing everything apart right now, and we got permission to be here. So don't just come here, climb the fence, get permission first. And in the video, you can actually see how Roy is sitting on those stairs. Of course, it looks a little bit different right here. They stripped everything down, but those are the stairs where he was sitting on.
This is the door. Siegfried stands behind this door, and the tigers walk into the house. It was amazing.
Wow. It's like a cabin here.
Skihütte.
Ski house.
Ski house.
Wow. Whoa, check this out here. They even got the curtains on here. Wow. This is what it looked from the inside.
This was the original house.
And they're stripping everything apart. This is going to be teared down. I actually got a picture here where Roy is sitting on the chair. And there's a donkey right here. Check it out. It was right here where Roy was sitting, and the donkey is right here. He's feeding the donkey. That was the kitchen area right here. Man, they lived in here. They walked around here every day. And all this is going to be thrown away. This is real heavy wood. They had homeless people living in here, and the police just kicked everybody out last week when they started tearing everything apart. If you look over here, there's a couch where a lion was laying on, and Roy was standing right here, and Siegfried was standing right here. Wow, I can't tell you, man. I'm so nervous right now. Just being here. I mean, it looks terrible. And that's what I'm always talking about. When you see something like this, where people worked all their life, they've been so successful. They built this with love, and now everything is going to be torn apart. If you look over here, there's one picture where they have a lot of nutcrackers up here. And as you can see, they were really religious. They had all those pictures up here of some kind of religious people. They got a lot of crosses. But you can tell This is all original. They had the firewood on the bottom here. And they were just sitting here celebrating Christmas. He was probably touching this, moving this back and forth. So when Siegfried walked in here, he walked into the kitchen, which was right here on the left. They had like a little dining area right here with some chairs. The refrigerator was here. That was a big refrigerator. They took the appliance out already. Siegfried, how often did he stand here and use this? Wash the dishes in here. So in the video, Siegfried is explaining there was a picture hanging right here, and every time his mom didn't really know the answer for something, he always read the quote that was here. And when you see Siegfried reading it, you can actually tell his emotion in the face. He said every time he didn't know what to do in life and he didn't know what to do anymore, he just kept reading it and the answer automatically showed up one day. And it happened right here. I mean, I cannot explain to you what it means to be here. You know, it's like, it's so sad to see everything is gonna be demolished. Siegfried explaining right here, all the family pictures were here, Siegfried pictures were here, and Roy pictures are here. And he said that Roy always wanted to have a big Christmas tree right here, all the way up here, so they could celebrate Christmas.
Und hier steht normalerweise auch zu Weihnachten der Christbaum. Der muss natürlich unter die Decke gehen.
Look how detailed, how nice everything is. This is really heavy wood. They paid millions of dollars for all this. And it's gonna be gone. Man, even the wood. Wow. You see this side, everything was decorated so nice. And then when you look over here, I mean, it looks terrible with all the stuff laying here now. But there was a piano right here. And you can tell in the picture, the wood is broken in the middle. And you can still see it in the picture, but they took those, what do you call those, blinds? They took those off already. And man, they're gonna throw this away. This is a heavy piece here. Marmor. They love books. All this was full of books. Do you know what was upstairs? Not really, huh? Let's go check it out. René just said something really funny. He says, what if they have like a safe somewhere where nobody knows where it is? And
Or any secret room or a door to a basement.
Man, you hear the bulldozer already taking the whole pool apart. Probably touched it right here. I don't think that Roy came up here after he had this injury. Wow. It's huge property. The original curtains. I don't know what kind of room this was here. Can you hear my voice? I'm so excited that my voice is actually gone. Wow. They got a television here, a really old one. Like I said, all the stuff you see, the homeless used to live in here. Siegfried was watching right here, look. VHS tape. Whoa. I mean, it's like the attic like my dad built at my mom's house. I mean, beautiful. There is no way that we can save all this. All this is gonna be new houses. They're gonna make everything flat, and new apartment buildings and houses are gonna be built on this property here. And here's the doorway to the terrace. And all this, it was a terrace. They had all like a little fence all the way around. All this is their property. The pool area was here where some of the lions were swimming in the pool. All this used to be pool. Tearing everything apart there. There's this bridge. I mean, if you see the pictures, how it looked, how green everything was. There's the yin and the yang. Nice. And there used to be like a red wheel. All this used to look so nice. They had their own chapel here. And that's where they had Siegfried and Roy's ashes when they passed away. Just imagine how many times he closed those drapes here. They were up like this. I mean, for you, it's probably boring to see something like this. But for me, it won't get any better than this, for sure. It's kind of loose. You got to be careful when you go down. But like I said, everything you see here was their dream to build. Just sitting here and soaking it in. It's crazy, huh?
Unbelievable.
And when you come to the left here, this is a bathroom. And a shower. I mean, you're probably laughing, but I had to sit here. I'm always too late. I've been to Michael Jackson's house when he passed away already. Now I'm in this house. I would have loved to be here and talk to them. Just how it feels to be successful. Did it change your life? Of course it changed, but were they happy? That's my question always. So we can walk all the way around the corner here. A lot of light, a lot of doors, and some of the tigers were just walking around in here. I wonder if I'm the only one who's interested in seeing something like this. Would you go to places where you know that one of your favorite celebrities used to live? Because me coming from Germany, you always heard about Siegfried and Roy. They made it big in America. You see them on television, on all the TV shows. Renee, what do you think? Those people that tear everything apart and that walk around here, do you think they know who lived here? No, huh?
No. Nobody has
For-
any idea.
They just come here, they take everything apart. I love the wood here. Man, those are heavy wood. Look at those stairs, really thick. They took all those pieces out. This is actually the cover for the air conditioner. In the summertime, really cold air comes out. In the wintertime, warm air. You just open the door. I love it when you see the light switches on the side. Siegfried was standing here. Now we're gonna go to Roy's house. They're taking everything out already.
Very, very bad.
Wow. Like I said, this is where all the homeless people were hanging out. This is the place where Roy was living, his fireplace. Wow, that was probably his bedroom. The TV is still up here. The blinds. Roy's bedroom, all on one floor. A lot of mirrors in here, even up here. And when you walk out of his bedroom, I believe this was the kitchen area. Wow, how sad is that? How sad is this to see? Oh wow.
Here's a star.
You got an elevator in here? Is that
No elevator. This was the bathroom.
That was the bathroom. Man, I'm shaking so much, and look, Roy could not walk anymore. He had a wheelchair so he can hold himself up here. Wow, all his clothes were up here. Could turn it on and off and get all his clothes. Everywhere you can hold on. This was the shower. Man, it is so sad to see. And that's what I always try to say. All this stuff, even my YouTube flag for 100,000 subscribers is gonna be probably thrown away one day because I'm not here anymore. They choose the tile color, they choose everything. And now it's all gonna be
Come on in
gone.
this room first. This is amazing.
Oh wow, look how big this is.
Look up.
Oh. Oh, that was probably his bedroom here, huh? He had a big round bed here.
And we have one secret in this room.
What is it?
Look around. This is a secret door.
What? Another room. Holy moly. This is too much. I mean, how often you have a chance to see stuff like this? Never, ever, ever. And by the time I upload this video, nothing is going to be here anymore. Maybe that was a guest room. The flowers are still here. Another bathroom. Another shower. This picture was taken right here The door to the bathroom was closed. I am absolutely speechless. And it makes me really happy to see this. If Renee would not told me, you guys would have never seen this here. First I thought that would be an elevator, but that's just a door. I think that was an electric door, but it's really easy to slide. It's pretty heavy though. Of course, it's not what divider, share, individual, but this door, metal. This is crazy, it's so heavy. There's so much light here when you open up the blinds. Just imagine the sun comes out in the morning and you sit here and everything, it's like a winter garden. You can close the doors, you can open the whole thing up right here. This is one of those things you can open up all the way. Another fireplace. So this is also his shower, and Renee was here before and he said all those outlets that were pretty low so he could touch it easily because he was in a wheelchair, right?
Yeah. Look, here is a shower holder.
Uh-huh. See, I'm here right now looking at all this stuff. He pushed this one to the left and to the right. Just imagine one day people are gonna come to my place where I live and they say, this is where the GIB took their shower. I don't know. I just love it. This is really cool to me. See all this, all the numbers here, and this moves around almost like a dry cleaner. So everything was made for handicapped people here, so he could hold on. It's really sad what happened to him, but I believe he had such a good life. He experienced so much stuff we don't experience in 10 lifetimes, I would say. I think this is for the music, jazz, Buddha. They had a Buddha outside. I've seen a picture. Radio, TV off, volume. That's like, I think they played music that way. More closets. Flat sheets, fitted sheets. He's checking it out if you can find something here. They're taking everything apart. And all those, they call them Tannen. You cannot get those here in America, I think. Maybe, but not in Vegas. So they had them specially delivered here. They're taking all the windows out. This is exactly where Siegfried explained that they built that little chapel, and that looks like an onion on top. That's what he said. But they made a mistake, so they had to redo it over. They cut this tree here, but this is exactly where he walked up. Just a couple of days ago, everything was full of trees here, and they cut them off right now. There goes the tree. This was also where they had the horses and the alpacas. Their property went actually where the houses are standing as well. The wall was not here. All those houses were also Siegfried and Roy's property. I mean, they really had a little forest here. So they could call it Black Forest. They had a little fountain here with a waterfall. The forest and the grass was all green. That's where they enjoyed spending time with the animals. And look how close they lived to the street right there. There's a hotel right here, so they were really close. This is about 15 minutes from the strip. This was the house they used together. They broke all the glass here. Look, they probably had some bookshelves up here too. There's a ladder. Achtung! Achtung! Zerbrechlich! Contains something they use on stage. This was used in the Mirage on the stage. So they had 3 different houses on here. There's the kitchen. Another really nice fireplace. Look at this. You know how expensive this place is? And look, they got like a cage in front of it here. Let's see where this goes to. I believe another bathroom. And there was a toilet here. Crazy, crazy. You can see another picture where they had an interview with Siegfried and Roy, and you see the fireplace on the right here. Let's go in the kitchen. More shelves. I just wonder. Yeah, the owner probably knows. Look, this bamboo. Can't open it. I love kitchens like this. They're pretty big. I saw Siegfried and Roy performing at the Mirage twice with my mom and my dad. My mom loved the show. Huge, this place is huge. Look this way here. Wow. Millions of dollars they spent to build this, and it's worth nothing anymore. Solid wood. They ripped this whole wall apart. But this is like, I don't know what kind of animal this is. But this is, I don't know. But it's all gone, they all ripped it off. I really wonder what they use this for here. See, there's more of the lining up there. This picture was taken right here in the living room. You can see this one in the background. This is pretty awesome too. I got a picture I can match up here inside the chapel. They were both really religious. They probably prayed here many times. There was a statue in here. Rene, do you know how much they paid for this property here?
Yeah, it sold last year in April for $11 million.
Wow. So to a developer, and then all this is gonna be houses, right?
Yeah, apartments.
Apartment buildings. You know how scary that is to think that tigers walked around here? And I got this grid in front of the door here. And we don't really know, but we believe that this is real. Those are fossils inside this fireplace here. Only the best was good enough for them. They're fossils, million years old fossils. It's crazy to think that he showered in here, and now the GIV is standing here, but I'm not gonna take a shower. They have like a beehive inside the tree stem here. And that's right next to the chapel. They took all the copper off. Copper makes money. Wow, how sad is this? This is probably something, a medical device Roy used to use. I'm on their property. They had like a Chinese looking garden with the yin and yang. All the pools, the lions were swimming in the pool. You see them walk around in some of the videos. Wow. Right here was one of those round things you hit, bong, a gong. I really love this building here. I think they had welcome in all different kind of languages here. And when I turn to the right, must look really nice at night with these beautiful lights. And I think all this is Japanese culture inspired. This is where you turn on the pool light and the bridge light. And this is how it used to look. When you walk on the side, you can see they had a Buddha statue in here. This is definitely like a house you can see in Bavaria. And that's why they call this place Little Bavaria. I believe this was a jacuzzi. It smells really like chlorine here. In the middle there was like a fountain. I'm not sure if this was for his wheelchair or so. No, it's just to walk in. I think it was just a jacuzzi. What I really would love to have when I have my own house is a jacuzzi. That one would be perfect right here. You can walk out, walk in. You can have all your friends over. Maybe one day. But for now, I'm in Siegfried and Roy's jacuzzi.
Die kleinen Lampen, das sind alles Lampen.
Those are lights for the jacuzzi, he said.
Oh, this was for the TV. Look how many cables.
Cable TV. It's his terrace. It looked like they stripped all the copper wire in here to make money with it. Bedroom licht, living room patio, daylight. The homeless had a nice, comfortable house here. One day, people live here that worth millions and millions of dollars, and then another day, the homeless moved in here. Also, always a lot of light, a lot of windows. There's pictures right there where he's feeding some animals. I'll show you in a minute. This house is not as big as Roy's. That's where Siegfried was hanging his jackets. Air condition was in the attic. There was a shower. Look at this.
Unbelievable.
Maybe that was theirs. Siegfried and Roy at the Mirage. 30 minutes. And here's a picture of Roy feeding the animals. Just imagine how happy they were when they first moved in and everything was brand new and nice. And just a few years later, gone. So they had the alpacas and some elephants actually in there. Those are the animals they used for the show. Some of them were still living here. This is when they wanted to take a shower, where they're ready to go into the pool. A bathroom. Another bathroom and a shower. Oh wow. Why would somebody break this off here and ruin it? I was sitting here at the table, but I want to show you something else that makes my stomach cringe. And this is what I'm talking about. You see a table in the middle where they're relaxing. They had the stars and the stripes on the table, and Siegfried and Roy paid $250,000 to have all those installed on the wall here. There's a picture of Roy sitting here holding a parrot, and you see the angel in the background. And it looks like they were celebrating the 4th of July. If you look around, you see more images of angels up there. Yeah, looks like they were ready for the 4th of July. Siegfried is dancing right here. In this picture, you can see where the pool started. You know how hot it gets in the summertime here in Vegas? All this was a huge pool. This is where Roy was swimming in. There's a picture online, right here. Can't say it often enough. All this is going to be erased from existence in a couple weeks. I wish I could find more pictures of them walking around on their property here. Another shower. Bathroom. Beautiful, huh? René, look at this original from the swimming pool here.
Rettungsring.
Rettungsring. Lifesaver, I think they call it here. It is super hot here today. It's not even summertime. How hot does it get here in the summertime?
Oh,
110?
Over 120 degrees.
Sheesh.
Yep.
Let's go into the pool here. Right next to the pool is another restroom. I like it how they have the different colors up there. And I believe this is special made for Roy so he can lift himself up on the pole here. Did they put the yin and the yang here because Siegfried and Roy, that was so different? I didn't know that the building on the left was all covered in copper. And so was the church. And all this used to be the pool. Huge. It's pretty deep too. And right next to the house, they had the horses, alpacas that walked around here. This is what's left from all the bridges that went over the swimming pool. So there's another really cozy area where a homeless broke into the door and made himself comfortable in this little room here. I don't know what this used to be. I love matching up those pictures. There's Roy standing right next to that shed. The palm tree's seen some better days. Those are all the trees they cut down. It was right on this bridge where Siegfried and Roy took this cover shot for their book. You see the three rocks? And this is how it used to look. They had frog statues on top. Another fun fact, we have a German camera team here, and he worked with Siegfried and Roy years ago, and he said there used to be a crane here that heaved Roy on the horse so he could actually ride a horse even with his handicap. So the horse was here and then he was riding around, but there was a lift here that lifted him up and down. And I believe this is where they had the animals. They put those rocks in front of it so people don't go in here. I heard they took one down already. That would be big enough for an elephant here. I wonder what kind of animals were in here. This is only 10 acres. The whole property was 100 acres, the guy told me just now. Here's another aerial shot where you can see how huge the property was. See the top little part? This is what you seen in the video. All the rest is developed with houses. When I see all this, how everything gets dismantled, I think about my dad when he built this house. Every little piece of wood he put in there, the basement, everything. And who knows, when I'm gonna die, when my mom is gonna be dead, nobody cares. He put his whole life in there, and so did those people here. Well, my friends, another beautiful day comes to an end. And I have to say, thank you so much, René. Without you, the people would not see this. I can only say that so many times. If they erase everything, we would never seen it. So thank you for showing me.
No problem.
And I'm gonna put his channel name here too. He does everything in German. If you speak German, check out his channel. And if you happen to like this video, you might want to give it a thumbs up, push the notification bell, and subscribe to German in Venice and to René Meinert.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Bye-bye.
That was epic. That was, I would say, one of my best days filming. The best feeling I ever had in all the videos I filmed. I mean, Michael Jackson was really good too, but because you see pictures, I don't know. It's the same. Anyway, see you guys later. Tschüssing.